Hi, I'm Kate Barrett, the founder of Shine a Light Media and the Email Marketing Academy, and welcome to today's Tuesday email marketing tip video. Now, as promised, throughout April, I'm talking about how you can increase the results you see from your email campaigns. And today is all about getting personal. Now, you may know my rule, you may have heard me say it before. If it's in your database, you can use it to target, trigger, and segment your list for increased engagement. That's how you get personal, using the data and getting clever. Now, remember, sending the same message to everyone on your list may be the easier way to do things, but it's certainly not going to be the way that is going to increase your engagement, increase your revenue, and create that list of prospects who are dying to buy your products and services. So sending the same message to everyone is kind of old school. Segmentation is how you start to get more personal, using that data in your list about your subscribers to find commonalities between different groups of subscribers in your list, to provide those personal communications based on those subscribers' individual needs and wants, to make it look like you're communicating on a one-to-one basis, but you're actually communicating on a one-to-many basis. So you could be sending the email to a segment of 1 million people, but as long as it's segmented and providing specific information relevant to that segment, that's getting personal, one-to-one on a one-to-many basis. So segmentation is the start. And segmentation really is taking your whole list, looking at the data available and saying, how can I create smaller chunks from my list of subscribers who have commonalities? So let's look at a very, very basic example of this. If you have a field in your database that requires people to tell you their gender, whether they're male or female, you could create a segment of the male people in your list and a segment of the female people in your list. Now, for a clothing retailer, for example, this is a great place to start with your segmentation and can really help you. So, for example, the male segment, you'll deliver men's clothes information to, and the female segment, you'll deliver information about women's clothes. Can you see how just with that tiny little bit of segmentation, you're already starting to get more personal based on those subscribers' needs? Okay, so that's one really, really basic example. But again, can you see how you need to have that data in your database if you're going to be able to segment on it? So let's break this down into 3 main types of data that you can segment by. So the first is demographic data. This is information you know about your subscribers. So for example, their age or their location or their gender, as we just showed in the example. So that's demographic information. Then you've got behavioural information. What have people actually done? What actions have they taken? So whether or not they've purchased from you before, perhaps if they opened or clicked on a previous email or didn't open or click on a previous email, or perhaps they visited a certain page on your website or didn't visit a certain page on your website. And anything to do with your website, of course, will need additional tracking linked to your email service provider. But that's behavioural data. Emails sent based on something that you know they have done. Okay? Now, and don't forget, in next week's video, I'm going to be talking about automated campaigns that can be triggered from this type of information. But here we're just looking at these specific segments. So the third main type of data is kind of a little bit of a roundup. It's information that people have told you, so known information. So perhaps specific interests they have, or perhaps specific preferences they have about the types of emails they want to receive from you. Information that they've told you. Okay, so that's 3 main areas that you can gather data from in order to start segmenting your database to send different messages to different sections of your audience to get personal. This is where the real value is in email marketing. So if you've just been sending out a regular newsletter, perhaps you have some automated campaigns that are set up, that's brilliant. this is going to take you to the next level. This is how you're going to increase your results. So segmentation is one big part of that. So let's look at a couple of little examples. So if you're a product-based business, a couple of ways that you could specifically look at segmenting is based on what people have previously purchased, so specific categories of products perhaps, when they last purchased, did they purchase in the last 6 months, the last year? What's that time frame? You may want to speak to those people separately, and you'd certainly want to speak to people who haven't purchased from you before and people who have purchased from you before in a slightly different way. So if that data is in your email database, you can use that to create segments of purchasers and non-purchasers and speak to them slightly differently. Now, if you are a service-based business, interests may come into play a little bit more. And this may be something that you want to actually ask your subscribers. You could even put it on your sign-up form. Keep it nice and short and sweet and easy to answer. But ask them, what type of information are they interested in receiving from you? Is there specific categories of topics that they want to learn about? So let's say you're an all-round digital marketer. Are people more interested in email marketing, social media marketing, search engine marketing? They could be interests that people could choose from, and you could send different emails based on those interests. Or if somebody wants to receive a daily email marketing tip by email, but other people only want to receive an email once a week or once a month, you could add those options. And when you know what people then want to receive, you can create segments and send the daily email marketing tip only to people who have subscribed for that, who registered an interest in it. The weekly emails to the people who wanted the weekly emails. You can start to get really personal. Okay, so there's just a few examples for you. So segmentation is breaking down your main list into smaller chunks of subscribers who have commonalities between them, similar interests. Perhaps you're running a local event. Perhaps you want to use demographic information about where your subscribers live to only invite people to that live event who live within 10 miles of the venue. Again, segmenting, because that live event may not be relevant to the rest of your database. If I'm running an event in London, it's probably not relevant to my US subscribers. They're probably not going to be able to get to it. So something like that would be really good for segmentation. Having a look, if you're sending an email and it's a really important message or a special offer, you want to make sure that people get that message. You could use segmentation to pull a segment of people who, when you sent out the original message, didn't open or click on it, and send a follow-up message only to that segment. See, again, you're getting personal. You're not just blanketing your whole list with the same message. You're using their behavior or known information to start to segment them and send different messages based on the different subscribers that you have in your audience. Now, this takes some planning, of course. I wouldn't recommend just jumping into segmentation. But my challenge for you today is to start getting your feet wet. Have a look at your database. What information do you have in your database that you could start to segment by? What data could you start to break down your subscribers by? Behavior, demographic data, or have you been asking them what they're interested in? But make sure if you do ask people for information that you're using that information to segment, trigger, personalize your emails. So that's a little introduction to segmentation. If you've got any other questions, please do leave me a comment below this and I'd be happy to answer them. Now, in next week's video, we're going to be talking again about automated campaigns. I covered automated campaigns in February, but I do just want to touch back on them because they are a key way to increase the engagement that you see with your email campaigns. They're some of the highest performing campaigns that you'll send, so you don't want to miss next week's Tuesday email marketing tip video. But for now, I'm going to leave you with that challenge to have a look and see how you can start to get personal with your database using segmentation. So good luck, and I'll see you in next week's video.